to another episode of On the Streets. This is another marathon session. Notice this young man kind of observing me off to the side curiously for a while. Then he came up and approached me and started waxing philosophical. So I let him roll on to find out just exactly where he was coming from and where this was going and trying to catch his train of thought. Then notice this young lady eavesdropping. She was like putting her ear over to the other side of the booth, kind of trying to listen in. So I invited her over. And then the conversation got more. She was from San Francisco, so the conversation ensued. She heard me talking about Beto. And so it went on. And we got into all the deep subjects here in this one. You know, abortion, God, all those good groovy things. I don't know. I've always felt uncomfortable a couple of things, even back in my day, whore dog days, when I thought about nothing but women. I never really enjoyed bragging about sexual contrast. I just did them. I mean, you know, I didn't like sit around and talk about them. It made me feel uncomfortable to do that. And I feel the same about religion. I always felt like, you know, sex and religion were two things that kind of personal. Of course, now that I've gotten, older and delved into things, there's I'm a bit more open about my Christianity, but it's still a private. I still feel uncomfortable talking about it in a lot of instances because there are just questions that, are unanswerable. I don't know. I mean, I'm still a novice in a lot of things. I'm still trying to figure things out. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to talk about them because that's what the quest is, and that's what this video is all about. At the end of this, I went ahead, because it was basically split up into two conversations. The young lady focused. She didn't want to have any part of me. She knew she couldn't play the sexual politics with me or dominate the conversation. So, she split off with this young man. And so at the end of this, I got what I could of what she was getting into. I wanted to pick up on what she was saying. And it was pretty much the run-of-the-mill, what you would expect from, a converted Catholic, as it were, into the secular college indoctrination. So you know what this is all about. If you like it, you like it. If you care, you share. Keep on sharing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and then subscribe again. And spread these videos around because that's the only way we're going to get the message out. And again, if you please support me. I mean, go get some of my designs. It's be nice. The weather's going to cease cooperating with me. Matter of fact, I should have gone out today because I missed yesterday being out Sunday. Today's Monday, a beautiful day. But I still only jump on out there for a few hours just to see if I can make a few bucks. I need some money. So if you could, please contribute, put something in the kitty. It really, really is. My expenses are piling up and nothing's been coming in. So, I don't know who it is. I hear the booming economy. I'm not seeing it on this end. So help me out if you can. Anyway, let's get into this because I'm going to bust in a couple of times here. So I don't want to make this too long. So here we go.
I graduated with a BS degree in history.
Oh, terrific. What are you going to do with that?
I started working for Wyndham. So this is interesting.
I hate to be boring.
Well, I understand. I know that feeling. That's why I'm myself, and by nature takes over, and they're like, "You're the weirdest person I've ever met." Or like, I'm just like I'm not over the top, but I'm just like,
oh, yourself. You're a free thinker.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good, because I mean, that whole group thing is where they want us. They want to put us in boxes, so we can, they can control us. The last thing they want are people that think independently. I mean,
I mean, to be honest, though, I think like the thinking aspect of freedom is great, and it's just, I don't know. I love it, but I hate the direction that it's taken. I talked to a lawyer outside the federal courthouse, and gosh, it was like a real and I know, been around politics for a long time. I met Steve Bannon. My old boss is friends with him, and I'm at the point now where if people can't say that it looks like a dog and it smells like a dog and it feels like a dog and it's probably a dog, because I'm tired of arguing. I'm over it. I'm over it. I will love you to the best of my ability.
Oops, not that one.
but at a certain point, it just becomes reckless endangerment to liberty, and I won't have it.
Well, what becomes reckless endangerment?
Reckless endangerment. All right, kind of like I see stickers up around the city that say "resist hate." I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm a Christian. I understand that.
Right.
I see love no matter what. I'm like, okay, I get that. I'm a Christian, but I also know how to say if it looks like a dog, it smells like a dog, it's probably a dog. And
you might like to read this, and I think you might find this interesting.
Mega Dynamics. Equipping a warrior class of Christians for the days ahead. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's about not sitting on the sidelines. In other words, be, you can understanding, loving, and all that stuff, but stand up for what's right. Don't cower. Don't expect God to come in and take care of it. We got to take care of it.
But see, that's the thing. I know that I believe in that everything was. This is just the way that it is. I feel the way that I do because of the decisions that I've made in my life on a microcosm. Macro, same thing. And it's harder to deal with, but the more that I learn about myself and the things that I can accomplish, I didn't think I could do the job that I have now. I was brushing my teeth and I go, how am I going to do this? How am I going to convince somebody I can give you something for free? And as I'm brushing my teeth, I go, oh, wait a minute. I got it. I have a free gift of eternal life. I should be the first one to recognize that right off the bat and say, I can give this to you for free.
There you go.
You know what? There's a small time of exchange, but when you look at the grand scheme of things, what's the time with God? It's a parallel. That's all it is.
Good way of putting it.
I mean, I'm not trying to, I'm not.
No, that's something you always think about. I mean, these are the things that, through the teachings that I'm trying to understand myself. And you can try to decipher the Bible and try to decipher what the prophets have said and everything else. I mean, this is it. I mean, this is what we try to do. I think it's a striving to always try to, become a better person, to adhere to.
It hurts.
Well, of course it hurts.
It hurts.
None of this stuff is easy. I mean, it's not supposed to be.
You remember The Green Mile?
Yeah.
That was a hard movie for me to watch. I never watched it until maybe a month ago. Mm-hmm. And that black guy, whenever he was going through his trouble, that was the truth.
Well, as a matter of fact, that chapter I just read in this right here goes through that, where it talks about the tribulations. In other words, we walk through that fire. He put us, Moses through the desert for 80 years for a reason. There was a reason for all of this. You have to have that steel in order. You have to forge it for the fight. So you have to go through these trials. It's just the way it is. You can't be given it. It's not going to. Then it doesn't work. So we are being tested. We do go through these things. We are. I think and the more we strive, the more challenges we have.
I was also thinking that I've always kind of wondered about how to make proper judgments.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
I was on the fence about saying that, well, probably there are not as near as many people as you think are going to be with God after they die. But then I thought, well, maybe so. Because it's that fence, it's that I can't make that judgment.
Exactly.
I have no idea. But what I can say is that we do have that history. And that history is, I think, ingrained in every single person, and possibly people around the world that were influenced by it. And somewhere along the line, you hear people saying that it wasn't this giant epiphany like it was for me. I mean, it was more than that, but it was more of like an understanding that that's correct.
Yes.
And I believe that.
Yeah.
That like they had a better head on their shoulders than I did. But you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like it wasn't a big shock. It was like, oh.
Yeah, you just discover it. It's been there all the time, but you discover it. It can, it comes. Well, it took me a long time to come to feel. I was, so independent, so like into myself, and then, saying I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I can't do it alone. Can't do it. I got to open up myself to that, to God, and say, all right. And then I, like you, and I still do, I torture myself with things I really you can't have the answer for. I mean, I think about them, and they're sort of like mind games that, you play to stretch it out. But there's no way you can possibly know the infinite knowledge that God has. It's impossible. We aren't Him. I mean, we are made in His image, and but we're still man. We stumble along, we make mistakes, we pick ourselves up, we get back in the game, and we just keep on trying.
You can enjoy the creation, and you can help people that need it. I was walking around, I was looking at cold people sitting, laying on the side of the street. I thought that's probably the worst thing. And first chance I get when I make some money is I can't stand it. I really can't stand that people are cold.
Yep.
Because I was walking around shorts and short sleeve last night and freezing my butt off. I mean, that was.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the what can I do process.
It brings real purpose, because when you think about it.
Well, I mean, there's some basic things that we need in our psyche outside of any religious aspect. Just in our psyche, we have to have a purpose. We have to feel like we have a purpose. And
where there is no vision, be prepared.
Yeah, otherwise you're just floating around a nowhere man.
I thought of my sister, for instance. My sister, just kind of like, and my dad would say, she lives like she's a millionaire, but she's not. And I see it now. I see it so plainly, and I know, I know it, and I hate it for her, because that it never stops. The want for more never stops. You have to curtail it at some point and say, I want something else. I've seen the worst in people who went through the worst, but those people, one blanket to keep the sting off. I'm curious about this GMOs here, because you're run-of-the-mill college professor. When I went to school, would tell you, well, corn is genetically modified, but it's genetically modified in the dirt with 2 seeds.
Yeah, there's 2 different kinds. I mean, we're not taking DNA and splicing it in. What you're doing, that's what we're doing now. Is they're taking insect species and putting it into the plants. So, or insecticides and embedding it in the plants. And we wind up eating that. I mean, it's stuff that it's not natural, and so we're doing it playing God. I mean, we have chimerias now. We have animals that are half human. We've made them.
I know. I listen.
Yeah.
But I
So this stuff is, like pure evil. I mean, when you start playing God with God's creation, but this is the Bible. I mean, it was prophesied. This is the stuff that is an abomination against His creation. So, these are the things we're in that time.
who's he affiliated with?
I picked this book up at True Legends, a conference in Branson, Missouri. Stephen Quayle was up there, Dr. Hugo DeGaris, InfoWars, David Knight, and Owen Shroyer were there. So they had a whole prolific of speakers talking about, it was half revival and half talking about how the AI robotic technologies are coming in and taking over, and how they're going to change society, and how it all was prophesied in the Bible, how this is all working in.
Well, I have an interesting take on AI, and I don't think that AI is what everybody thinks it is. AI is the data collected by Google in order to pretty much control people who are not Christians.
Yeah.
Because if you can control the stream of information,
Sure.
like, news. You know what I say? If they want to make fake news, let them make it. Because if you're not a Christian, what does it matter?
Because, who watches the news anymore? It's like, who's going to watch you? It doesn't matter to you. They're telling, they're lying to you. You're not going to go listen to a known liar.
But that's the problem. Right now, we're at a juncture where you've got Fox News, CNN saying the exact
They all lie
opposite.
to a certain degree. All of them.
And that's where this train is that they're both being paid, and I'm not even so sure about Alex Jones.
Well, I question my own belief. You question all of them.
That's why.
It gets back down to us individually. We are the ones that decipher what is real or not. You go with it. You question it, you decipher it, you run it around your mind. Just what feels, does this guy, can I see, how does that make sense compared to what this guy's saying?
Well, you work, this is what my boss said, you work 6 days and you rest on the 7th. And it just, to me, all the hype, all the political hype, you walk down the street and you see the ACLU and they're like, hey, do this, and it's almost they do it out of spite.
Oh, sure.
I can feel it.
Yep.
I can feel it here. And I say, oh no, and they obviously say things I don't agree with. Oh no, I said, I'm not, I'll think about it, I'm looking for a job. They said, well, we're hiring. And I'm like, oh really?
Yeah.
Well,
You ought to sign up and join Project Veritas and become an inside reporter. They're hiring. Project Veritas is hiring. Yes. They would. Oh yeah, they're hiring right now. So they add.
Kill me. They would kill me.
No, they wouldn't.
They would.
Not if they don't catch you.
Well, but see, it's the thing is that I've already talked to people about this very subject right here. Because I would take the whole system down, but
that's what we got. That's the price you got to pay them. If you're going to be a soldier in this thing, as it comes a time, you got to figure out what am I going to do, and am I going to be afraid to do it? Because you got to stand in the fire. You got to go through that fire. In order to defeat these bastards, you got to stand up to them. You can't shrink from it. Just because they might kill me. Yeah, they're going to kill you anyway.
But what do you think? What do you think about? What are they going to make me do? Because I don't want to do.
Well, you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is play along. All you have to do is play along and just wear the hidden cameras. They teach you. Project Veritas will teach you how to do it. They will school you on how to become an undercover journalist. They will school you on it. Look with the ones they've been breaking all week. None of those people got harmed.
I don't know, man. I like it.
Sorry, I'm just listening.
Yeah, come on over.
All right, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I like it, but this kind of like brings.
How you doing?
Good.
Good. Where are you from?
What's
San Francisco.
Well, actually, we'll call you Mrs. Smith. I'm John Smith.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about this. So, but what I'm saying is that that's like dedicating your life to sort of like just secrecy.
No. What you're doing is this is what true journalism is to be.
But you wouldn't be able to have any real attachment.
Well, of course you have to put on you're an actor. You're going to have to act the part. When you look at Project Veritas videos that came out this past week, those people were embedded a year ago. And of course they had to play, I really want the illegal immigrants in. They had to play along. So these people would just start opening up and spill the beans. They got the entire Iraq campaign on video, colluding to use campaign money to smuggle in illegal immigrants, give them false identification to vote for Iraq.
Why don't we
on video they have them.
Wait, did you watch the video?
Yes.
That's not what happened. They were using campaign contributions to give them blankets, food, things that they would
and smuggle them in. You see them going to get in the vans. You see them paying for it. You see them bragging about, nobody can know about this. Well, yeah, this is illegal, but we're going to do it anyway. I watched, I think, 3 times, the entire whole video 3 times. Believe me, they're going to jail. Or what the campaign manager herself said that, don't worry about it, ain't a big deal. So she knows, and so if they all know about it, O'Rourke is he either knew about it, 1, or 2, if he didn't know about it, he's got to be the dumbest person walking the face of the earth. But why would they talk about having to hide it, that the public can't know this? Why would they say those words?
Yeah, this is where I own her. She has no answers, so the crew comes in for the rescue, and then she starts divorcing herself from me after this. That she's owned after. She ain't gonna. I mean, the videos speak for themselves with the bedhole thing. Nobody can back their way out of that.
We can't let anybody know we're doing this. Why would they say those words?
Because people are hateful.
Well, if you're breaking the law, if you're spending taxpayer money to go ahead and break the law, I would guess you would be upset.
Yeah. But I feel like there's people who attack people for helping people.
Barks like a dog. It's probably a dog.
You can help people, but don't misappropriate taxpayer money.
But
There's nothing wrong with helping
There's
people.
so much taxpayer money that goes to way worse shit than helping people.
Do it the legal way. You can't say you're going to take money and do it for this purpose and then take that money and use it for another purpose. That is lying, that is fraud, that's misappropriation of funds.
But is that really what we should be... misappropriate myself. Is that really what we should be focusing our anger on? It's like the misappropriation of funds, like that's what pisses me off the most about.
I would think that wasting taxpayer money on
number one evil.
That Veritas was the one who did the Planned Parenthood video, correct?
Yes.
It's either going to be this. They bring up this false editing thing. Chattanooga always pops up. No, Charlottesville always pops up. Anytime they need a go-to something excuse, they pick out lies. The videos again speak for themselves. They keep on saying, "Oh, they were edited." Well, yeah, they were edited. Of course, they were edited. You moron! I'm editing this video.
So you know that they were actually found for
and that's a lie.
splicing together.
And that's a lie. And that's everybody edits, lady. I edit my videos, so everybody edits. No, but if that was true, they would have been found guilty in court, and they were not. Those cases were dropped.
Not illegal, Larry.
Well, so here's the thing.
Hell, they know why they Planned Parenthood tried to take him to court, and the case was dropped. Why? If what you said is true, why did Planned Parenthood try to take him to court?
Because that's what America does. They take everyone to court all the time, every day, every week, every month, every year.
Oh,
They'll do it next month,
like the
and they'll do it the year after.
I say, so that makes it right. I get this.
Wait, we can't
So
get
frivolous
Stacey here.
lawsuits to you is how you handle things. I get it.
No.
Non-American
Sorry.
interfere
So
in
I
our
think
politics.
that I can't speculate on why or why not. I don't know why they didn't, but that was proven to be a spliced
Then again,
together
that
video.
what edited, lady, edited.
Yeah.
They edited. So, like,
They
if I'm
edited, but
standing
they
here
edited
talking to
because-
someone and start talking about the weather for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
I edit that out so we can get to the meaty part.
Well, no. So you understand that the meaty part was that Planned Parenthood doesn't.
So
they
you're
were
all
trying-
in favor of killing babies then?
But they're not babies. It's a
How do you-
collection.
No.
It's a collection.
No,
of
excuse
cells.
me,
Pardon
but
me.
They're not
The
babies.
No, this conversation. That
Also, by the way,
conversation's
by the
over.
way, yeah,
We're not
you're
gonna reach that.
inadvertently-
We won't
I mean,
reach a
so
consensus.
what are they? What are they?
They are a collection of cells,
called
but they're
a
A collection of cells. What are you?
I'm a human. I'm a.
Oh, you're not a
fully formed-
collection of cells?
She came
I
out
am,
of
but-
a-
Are you not
But
a collection of cells?
Agreed, but I am a collection of cells that has sentience. I'm a living human thing that has.
And how do you
thought
know
process.
that embryo doesn't have sentience?
They don't. And how
do you know that?
How do you know
How do you
that they
pick?
don't?
Because they're a gift from God. They are something.
But how do you know that
life.
God exists?
That conversation's over. This is why.
Because
But
we
we
look
can't have
around
that.
you, lady.
Is this your dad?
How can you not find us?
This is
How
my
can
dad.
you know?
This is my brother.
Is it really your brother?
This is my brother in Christ.
As,
and
Oh.
I
You guys are working together.
no, it's the first time I've ever met him.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. Like, that's why we.
I mean, a sperm is practically a child. An egg is a child.
And I get
What are you going to do with those
And
things?
you're a pompous ass.
And
Oh, but I'm from Northern Ireland.
I don't give a fuck. You're still a pompous ass.
Ooh, child.
that people can get care that they need, but not to do what it's still being done is to just take low-income people or whoever doesn't want the child.
You can't have a low-income person having a child.
But so you do also recognize that economies fare better when people are given access. So the thing is that people don't want.
I believe in like eugenics. What you're getting at?
No,
is
that's
like,
not true.
No.
That's not true.
You know who started
I get
Planned
the idea,
Parenthood, right?
But
So-
I don't like.
George
I don't like
Soros, are you gonna say that?
Beg your pardon?
half of it.
No.
This is where she's done with me. She doesn't want to have anything to do with me after this. And this is where I should have come down on her after watching this video. I really should have come down on her because she's the one that came over. She's the one that was easier. She's the one that wanted to talk. She's the one that wanted to come over and get engaged. And then she tries to take over this conversation by excluding me. I should have jumped down her throat on this. But as it were, I just got into a conversation with the other guy and rolled on from there. But that's why I did the video at the end here with just her quacking away. I wanted to hear what she had to say.
I want to hear what he has to say.
It's disgusting to me. Just that idea that.
But you don't but women don't. It's a very personal, private choice. Like people don't want.
Yeah, murder is.
necessarily. I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to him. People don't want, like, it's not like oh my God, I can't wait to have an abortion. People are lining up around the corner to have it. It's a very personal, private matter. And a lot of the women who have been so upset about people protesting Planned Parenthood and trying to say that they're terrible people have been women who've had to go through the most difficult decision of their lives. Their fetus cannot be carried to term. It's not a viable fetus.
What's
and they've had
difficult
to
about
abort.
it? What was going to upset? What was their baby going to upset? Their partying?
That is something where
Their joyful lifestyle?
You cannot pick and
Baby can't
choose
control
what you
itself.
think is acceptable or not in that area because
What's a baby
No.
going to
When
upset?
it becomes an issue.
Why would you have an abortion?
It's like I knew a girl.
Other
she was
than to
my
kill
friend.
the
I went to high
baby.
school with her. She
Yeah.
had
But what if you were
3
raised-
abortions, and another friend of mine had.
But you're
another-
giving anecdotal
No.
stories
I-
of one-off
no, I'm just,
situations, correct?
I'm just telling you, I've got experience with this.
I'll make
I know-
an exception for
but,
incest
I just want that.
Why incest
I want
versus
the life to be
or
valued
endangerment
more, 'cause
to
It just doesn't seem like
because there's adoption.
It's,
You can adopt.
it's expendable.
What if you're
like,
not,
and,
like,
and you know what else?
Or if there's medical endangerment to the mother, that might be an
Our lives.
So
exception.
you're moderate amongst people that have views of the baby must be born, because your views are quite moderate in that view,
You know,
which is
useless
appreciative,
wars.
right?
Well, as I said, you know, when life is already existing, there's an danger to the medical danger.
Yeah,
That's. I think that would be, you know,
Too far.
you know, you got to make a judgment call on that. But rape, there is abortion. You can abort, not abortion, but there is adoption.
So we can talk about this without needing to agree or disagree. But like as males, we can't carry children. You or I can't do it. So and perhaps I'm a little too far on the left, where I'd say because I can't have a child, I shouldn't have an opinion. Because I think leave it up to women to choose what they want to do for themselves. Because like we don't have to do it. We don't have to have it. Like we're the ones doing it.
That's a weak argument.
So, but like whenever you think
That's a weak argument because we're still talking about an unborn child.
But to fertilize an egg, that was our fault. If we didn't do what we did,
we have a responsibility.
But if we didn't but if we didn't fertilize that thing, then there wouldn't have been a child to start with. So it already starts with us. Because
then we have to own up to that responsibility.
But we don't have to do the whole 9-month thing, and then
we still have to own up to the responsibility.
Men, I mean, many men run away.
We still have to own up to the responsibility.
But how do you, is that a monetary thing or like a parental giving thing, or like how do you own up?
I think that, you know, there's always a way. You're always going to find a way. I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. If you really want to go ahead and, as I said, you don't have to have.
But the will is usually not there. So if the will isn't there, how do you do it?
Well, then that's your own personal problem there.
So let's say, and I'm not saying this for you, but let's just give a hypothetical where you're in a very happy, loving relationship with your wife, and an accident happens, and somehow you meet a girl, and you have a night together, and somehow the girl ends up pregnant. But you're married, and you're happy, and you have children, and you've raised them well. Yet this woman, who you're probably not going to be able to speak to, converse to, provide for the child, you're like, that didn't happen. You know, does the woman have to have that child when you can't?
One night of sin, baby. It's all it takes. You can't just, excuse because it only happened once.
But she's more liable than the man is, because how are they going to choose? How are they going to prove it's you? Like how are they? You're like, I'm busy having my own life here.
Well, then it's up to the woman. It's up to the woman. Or you do want to adopt? You want to go ahead and have this child adopted? Because you believe there are people waiting in line.
They can't have their own.
Yeah, there are people waiting in line. They'll pay good money to adopt your child. So I mean, it's that option is always there. That's what I'm saying. At least give the child the option of life. I mean, why snuff that out?
So do you know what? So I'm from the UK in Ireland, where we agree with that because we agree with so whenever that kid's born, we give them like the parent subsidies. We make sure that there's child care, which is very important, so the mother can go back to work and then provide for the child, and it all spirals. And then middle school, high school, the whole thing. Here, they want the baby to be born, and they just kind of kick it to the curb because who's going to provide for the child?
Well, Nadia, give me a story. One of the saddest stories I've ever had out here. Little 9-year-old black kid comes up, really intelligent, asking me a lot of questions. I'm doing my best, to answer a 9-year-old.
Yeah, well, in the where they can understand.
Yeah, it was a really good conversation. And then finally he stops and he looks at me and he goes, "Can kids get checks from the government?" And I says, "That's an odd question. Why are you asking me that question?" Because my best friend, his mama, told him to act stupid in school, and we'd get more money. He'd get some money. So, when you get into that, how far do you take this? We're actually breeding now a dependency on the government and actually having people breed to get money from the government. So, and then have the kid actually go out of the way to be stupid to increase that paycheck. It's a perfect setup for government control and tyranny. You would get the people dependent on government dollars, and then they're actually willing. It's like Huxley said, you will finally get the people, comfortable with their servitude.
Yeah. Well, here, let's say because everything is all statistics, right? So if you have 100 children, right, like me and you are one in 100, 1 in 1,000, 1 in whatever. But if you're 1 in 100, okay, and there are always going to be people that milk the system. The system always has a remainder and a
But
balance.
there's also a way to end it to get it to the minimum.
But
I mean, let me give you the big picture.
What's hard is like Cruz is doing a lot of stuff.
In the end, this is what's happening right now.
You know, who better is.
From the beginning of time, the only reason that the elites
like I was raised with them.
have ever kept us around is because they needed slave labor. That's the only
It's
reason.
funny that you say that in New Orleans as a white man.
That's all we're looking to do.
I'm just, you know,
Because you were never in slavitude,
it's just a truth.
right? But we weren't. We have never been.
If
We
I-
have never been never indentured
Well,
to
actually,
anything.
yes. Actually,
As a
yes.
white man.
As a matter of fact, the biggest lynching in American history happened in this city.
But that's not hundreds of years of slavery. Your parents, grandparents,
Oh, no,
everyone.
no. When the Italians got here, we replaced the black people for the slave labor. That's what happened here. So don't, you know, there's been slavery throughout history, through all different realms, including the Irish, all of us.
Well, that's what I am.
Yeah, including all of us.
I mean,
at
we
one
were
time
put to
or
work.
another
We're
happened in
literally
slavery.
like put to
But
work.
if I may get back to the subject,
Foreign politics aside, yeah.
the elites controlling this have always wanted, you know, to have slave labor one way or the other.
Well, minimum wage slave labor. For me, $15 an hour is slave.
Again. They want cheap labor, all right? Okay.
Which is different.
Well, it's still the same. It's still the same. They give us just enough to live on, or less.
But the other was not giving you enough to live on, or
Allow
not
me to
less.
finish this thought. It might crystallize in you, okay? At this point in history now,
I mean, they can't all be
because of that,
They're like super.
AI, robotic
Yeah.
technology,
They always told me there was.
they don't need us anymore. So they have to figure out a way to get rid of us without us bitching too much about it. Now, in the past, they used starvation, wars, whatever they could.
That was before AI.
But, yes, but now they have to get us to actually walk into the camps and roll up our sleeves so they can inject us and kill us. That's why they put fluoride in the water, GMO foods, all of this stuff. They spend $1 trillion on cancer. If they found a cure for it, no. It's raised it up 35,000%. Why? Because it's a slow kill weapon. They need to get rid of us. So we shove this stuff in our mouth, we put this stuff in our veins, and we listen to the government say, oh, we'll take care of you. Just step right in here, but roll up your sleeve first. So it's a eugenics program because they don't need us anymore. Henry Kissinger called us the future useless food eaters. So the idea is to get us dependent on government. We'll take care of you, and then they kill us slowly.
But I do believe Americans have that opinion. However, Swedish and Danish...
It's not American opinion.
No, no.
Just read some books, man.
But Swedish, Danish, and Norwegians have all had this level of care for about 100 years now, and all of them live very, very long lives where their government isn't trying to give them drugs. Actually, they're doing the opposite. If you need antibiotics, don't take them unless you need to.
It's funny because
Like
the ones I
food-wise,
speak to
organics.
out here
No, not-
don't carry your opinion. The ones I've spoken
The
to, the
Norwegians,
Canadians, the
no,
Norwegians, the Swedens, the majority of them I spoken to. Now there are some that love it, but the majority of them I
I think I
speak
went through a
to
flip of that. So
now are being crushed under this free everything thing because
But they've
one,
had that for the last 100 years. It's never not been free. It's just the way you
Yeah,
were
but
born
every-
with it.
every socialist system eventually collapses under its own weight, especially when you bring in
No, that's
a lot of
communism.
the
That's communism collapses under its own weight. Socialism is a little different.
Okay.
A little different, because as I hate having to wait. So let's say I was sick or my mom or my dad was sick. We have to wait about 3 to 4 weeks to get specialist treatment.
Right.
Americans with their own insurance or Medicaid or Medicare get to see a doctor within 1 to 2 days. Now, would you say Americans have better coverage? 100%. extent they have better coverage if they can afford it. But whenever one can't afford it, I know that all of my loved ones will be taken care of within 3 to 4 weeks. And for me, it's not about being best, it's about being good enough. And I think that's the disparity for me.
Again, unless you want to
all be best. We can't all be best. We just
again, unless you want to believe that they're really there to take care of you. Again, if you go to the
good
government,
enough. They're not trying to be giving us the best. They're just giving us good enough. I mean, we can complete.
They're not even doing that anymore.
I mean, but in the countries that named,
they're not even doing that.
The UK, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. But the other countries, France, Germany, Spain, they're not doing that yet. And America certainly isn't doing it yet. I mean, you just have to look around, especially because we live in California, and there are so many homeless people everywhere. Homeless people everywhere, and it's really,
What caused that?
It's really hard to see. It's not because they lived in San Francisco for the last 10 years and then were kicked out.
What caused that? What caused all these homeless people?
Well, because our climate is a little bit better than other areas, and so people are buzzed in and literally put on our streets because people need psychiatric care from time to time. And whenever you don't have free health care, what is someone to do when their family can't care for them? And when they are hallucinating and seeing things, it's like go sit on the street. So that's what I mean. America is designed to like put them on the street when they can't cope. They really can't cope.
Right now, there are more job openings than there are people on welfare.
But people on psychiatric care can't do those jobs.
And who and what caused that psychiatric? Again, I go back to if you're trusting. I mean, I've had professional psychiatric health care worker out.
Have you ever needed it yourself though? Because until you need it yourself, it's really hard to empathize with people that do need it.
I've had professional health care psychiatric experts out here.
So people that don't need it.
The ones that treat the ones that treat the people on the street.
But have you ever needed?
Matter of fact, I spoke to one, a lawyer the other day who is in San Francisco who works with the indigent homeless on the street. I had a good 20-minute conversation with him. So I speak to a lot of people out here in this. When I find people in those fields, I grill them. I want to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
They are the experts.
I like your style. Your style is good. It's very calm, and you let us talk, which is very important.
Be. I mean, you see, I got controversial art out here to draw people in so we can start these conversations. That's because if we don't, we'll just wind up, pointing fingers at one another, and that's what they want us to do. They want us fighting against one another. They want us calling names. They don't want us get together and working this stuff out. So if I can get out here in the streets where everything happens, the streets are reality. I mean, if you don't control the streets, you don't control anything.
So what would you have? I have a little too much money. So what would I do with my little too much?
That's up to you to decide.
No. I want to give you, for all the people you've talked to and all the things you've heard. So the world is slanting towards the side of no one's giving anyone anything, so keep going that way, or no one's giving anyone anything, so go the other way and give. So like, if I was to say I have an extra $10 in my pocket, like who in the world should I give my $10 to?
It's all up to you. We were just talking about that before you guys came up.
But it's more important. I want to, because obviously you're interviewing us, but this is probably me interviewing you at this point. If you had an extra $10 and you can't give it to yourself or your family, like who do you give $10 to?
Well, no, I'd probably give it to the Vets for Child Rescue.
So that's the biggest issue for you.
That's my favorite charity.
Which is really because everyone has their thing that they're interested in.
I mean, they're actually going out there and saving children from sexual predators. What else?
Yeah. So if I have $10, that's in your opinion, that's where I should donate right now, because they're probably underfunded. They're probably underfunded, and would do.
I don't think any group like that could have enough funds.
Because for my thing, there's so many. You see rich people come and go. Anyone that can afford to fly here, stay in a hotel, and afford all the booze they're drinking has a little bit more than they need.
People are doing good right now because business is booming.
And so in that interest, and the show, New Orleans is always going to get people. Always going to get people.
Adult Disneyland.
And so in that interest, it's kind of like these people, instead of buying your $12 mojito, if you give that $12 to the the Veterans Affairs.
What's hard is,
I mean, life becomes for everyone a little bit better.
It would be
Is it
nice
better
for
for
me.
me as a non-veteran? No. Is it better for you? I mean,
Oh,
no.
it would trickle down.
But that is like the most I mean, everyone should feel good about that. I mean, like, because I see Democrat, Republican, neither, but pissed. You like every day, all of us feel a little bit better, and you don't even. It's not about how we feel. It's like that you know that something good is going to happen down the line.
That's the Christian view. That's a good Christian view. I mean, we don't do that. Yeah,
but we don't do it enough. It should be every 10%. It should be 10 bloody percent.
It's always the things that we don't do that bother us. I mean, the things that we do, we can justify for.
Well, because in my church in Ireland, you're supposed to give away 10%. 10% of your whole everything that you. It's not 10% of your net income. Like, it's not your profit or I did well this year. 10%. No, it's 10%. If you make $100,
you want to give more, you can.
Bloody dollars. You're supposed to give it, and that has gone away a lot recently because Ireland was a very, very religious.
Of course,
very religious.
Yeah, of course.
Place. And that's gone away. But I feel, and because I now think there's going to be a little gap where we give nothing. But I feel like our parents and people that we talk to could encourage us to like, okay, maybe you don't want to give it to your church because you don't know where it's going to go. But like, you just give me an exact thing: children, veterans, protect them, give them money. So like, I know how to look that up and go. If I really wanted to, I could give them $10.
And then in your own
really
personal life, like I'm out here on the streets, I'm dealing with the homeless all the time.
Yeah.
So I've developed a relationship with a lot of them. So some I feed, some I give some money to when they ask for it.
When they need it, really need it.
So
when it gets cold.
Thank you. And so I have it. I can see directly where it's going. And so we all do what we can. That's the idea. You do what you can. And that's what it works out. Hopefully. But you're right. There's a lot of suffering in the world, and there's never.
You can't fix. You can't fix. It's just fix one thing. Like focus on. Like whenever you focus directly on what is the one thing, the absolute one thing, and it might be good, it might be bad, it might be medium. It's like, well, just focus on it and do it, and like actually do it. And so where I was coming to, and this is where we'll disagree, is in all of the indecision that people have of, I don't know where to give it to. Hopefully the government, even how bad they do it, how incredibly, and I agree with it, they do it incredibly badly. Give away, like you give $100 and maybe 10 of it will go to a good cause, 90 will go to something bad.
You gotta due diligence. I like to do my due diligence and see where the money's going. So at least I know the Vets for Child's Care.
How do we land? Well, I think.
And we're on camera, I realize.
I know.
So
I was trying to tell you.
Tell me more.
That you're on camera.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, it's on the back of this get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton. This is good for any crime in the world.
I like it, like Monopoly. Yeah, I'll take your card.
I'll take that.
Oh, I've got two. I'll put it back.
Good.
Okay, he's got the one. All right. Well.
Anyway, I like that you provoke people, but I hope you took something from us as well as we took something from you.
I always do. There's not a day out here I don't learn something.
Okay.
You've given me something. I appreciate it. You give me your knowledge.
All right.
It's my heavy Californian accent. We slur out there.
Oh, all right.
You guys have drawl, we slur. All right.
Have a good one.
So did you make any headway with her?
Yeah.
Good. I probably might not if she didn't want to listen to me.
Well, I wanted to listen to her.
Yeah.
Because I think that was good. You opened it up and then you safely landed on an issue. Because really what it's about is it's just about this, who is God and how do we respond to him? Because for a long time I actually didn't want to.
No, I know. I was stubborn. As I said, I talked to you before. I was stubborn. I was. I know you exist, but I myself, I know you're there, but I'm pretty big too. Fool, just a fool.
Yeah.
And you realize this.
I can remember though. I can remember just thinking like, where can I hide?
Oh yeah.
Where there is nowhere.
Oh,
I knew that. I knew that. That was the weirdest part. I was like, there's nowhere. Like there was something about my mind that I thought I could just hide. Like
I tried it for 25 years. I mean, I went right into the heathenistic, drugs, alcohol, sex, just, live life to the fullest, this is live today, die tomorrow, kind of, and and thank God I lived through it all without killing myself, or, and now I've had, I probably, a backward Christian in the fact that I've outlived most of my vices. I've outlived my vices, which leaves only one thing, right? What do you fill that void up with? Oh, you're still here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm yours.
Yeah.
That's it. So, okay, I got to fill this void up, and he was there waiting for me.
Yeah.
Going, here I am. I go, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still a sinner,
Yeah.
I'm still bad. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But,
I know the feeling. I went to work one time with my boss and my two friends, and I was going through that, and I just got so angry and upset that with them, I threw my hammer, and they kept asking me, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I don't know. Quit asking me. Just let me work." And I finally said, "I was like, I'm a sinner. Okay, I'm a sinner. I don't know about you, but I am." Because it just felt like there's always something wrong with me, which there was, but there's also something wrong with other people that they didn't see it themselves, and I'm supposed to be the one to take care of myself first and then help others.
Yes.
That's how I did. That's the truth.
Yes.
Because I can't help anybody if I'm
Well, you can do it simultaneously, but again, do what you can.
Right. But
without taking away from your forward motion.
If I'm stumbling down the street, that kind of thing. Yeah. I don't get any joy out of that. No. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it's an empty thing. It's an empty vessel.
Ooh, goodness.
Again, we get back to something that's just. It's an empty vessel. It's not ever going to fill that thing up. It's a temporary thing, and that's all. And you know that because just your mind is stretching. There you go. I mean, I'm obviously getting closer to the end of my life, so I got to think about this real seriously. I'd say you're fortunate to be young thinking about this and doing something about it. When I was your age, I was going, really? I didn't care. But now, of course, I've lived out. I have to go, okay, I got to think about this. I have to do something about this because, time's short.
Well, my dad's 71, and he's kind of getting there. He just had knee surgery, and I don't know. He thinks he can just rebuild his body again.
Could happen. I mean, you got the money. You can really. They get the equipment now.
That's the thing, though. He said something very vaguely to me the other day while I was in recovery, and I think it's one of those things where you kind of realize, like, I could do this forever.
Oh, listen, if you can live for the next 20 years, maybe even sooner, if you can live for the next 20 years for sure, you'll be able to live forever if you have the money to do it. And that's if we don't blow ourselves up or get destroyed in the meantime. But that's how fast
that might be the closing.
Oh yeah,
the curtain.
Exactly. That's what the True Legends conference was about. Because at what point do you cease to be human? Like one of the things they brought up at the conference is soon they're going to be marketing if you have a child. If you would like to go ahead and have your child be the smartest kid in the class, all we have to do is put this grain-sized chip in his brain, and he'll be instantly 1,000 times smarter than everybody else. Only $100,000. Oh, fine. Hey, who doesn't want their kid to be the smartest kid? Of course, that kid is going to be 1,000 times smarter than you. So if you think kids are a problem now, what's going to happen? But is that kid even human anymore?
Modified.
Again, is it even human? Just think of multiplying your, being able to think 1,000 times smarter than anybody else. you're
Well,
oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to function in this. You'd wind up. We'd look like all these people would look like in the way to you. First thing you'd want to do is, how do I get these people out of my way to get things done? You turn into a monster.
Right, but there's certain ways I think God works, and He works.
He'll work it out, all right.
But He works right. But He works in ways that I'm almost certain. See, that's why I think that the AI that I was talking about with Google, and as long as there is no God and there is nothing, then they can truly control you, and we're just going to destroy ourselves. Because God can kill anybody He wants.
Oh, yeah.
He almost killed my mother. He gave her cancer, and she's now telling me, it's been a couple of years, but she said I was a horrible person. And I mean, I'm finding out little by little, how horrible of a person that she was. She was. And
we all have our ball and chain, man. Everyone.
I know,
to a
but
certain extent. Some balls bigger than others.
I didn't grow up with her, but all I can say is that God will take who He wants, and you can live as long as you want. And she's learning now that she survived it. She's learning. She's not perfect, but she is learning. She realized it. She confessed it. It's that that layer of the onion that nobody wants to peel back. Nobody wants to skin their knee, and nobody wants to see.
But that you got to face that fear. You got to face that. Or
okay, so back to Project Veritas.
Yes.
I'm interested, but I maybe I'll put in an application, and I'll tell them that Uncle Sam told me to sign up.
But yeah, I would, for you, if you want to find, something that might be interesting and intriguing, maybe make a difference. Veritas, I even thought about applying for them, but my problem is I'm already known on YouTube. I've got over 1,000 videos. And so, I've been on Alex Jones's show, and so.
I had a dream. I met him once.
Oh, yeah.
I went into his house, and then we were in the kitchen, and he was like, "Oh, hey." So, and then he walked me outside and left me there. What's that?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's this one here?
TSA.
Oh, yeah. I watched Adam Ruins Everything. You ever seen that? Yeah. They're right. He's right. Yeah. And it's true. It's so true.
Yeah. Well, I'm not disastrous. Today, I got an argument with some liberal little girl. I says, you guys have ruined everything. You've ruined sex, you've ruined comedy, you've ruined sports, everything you touch, you seem to, with your political correctness BS, you seem to ruin. Why? What is it with you guys? Why are you always mad?
I just can't. I don't know. That's the reason why I just got out of it. I used to be a political junkie. I listened to it 24/7, and then it just got to the point
it's
where,
a dirty
the girl here, that was real. That was, I was about to ask her out. I got to a certain point, I was like, I could go out with her. I like her. And, people change and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know what there is to do. There's not. I think the only thing that you can do as a human being is just to be as Christ-like as you can possibly be, and because all of these things have their issues, and all of these things have their sides and their stories, and you're never gonna know the truth. The only thing that you can do is feed the sick and the homeless, and help those.
Kirk Vonnegut summed it up one day. He said, "If I was to give advice to any young child today, I'd say, be kind." Just be kind.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
Be understanding. Be kind. I beat the shit out of your enemies. That's what I'd had.
that's when the real questions arise. The real questions are the questions that make you.
Why have you first?
No, you question your own self.
Sure.
You fix yourself.
I did it about a half dozen times
Because
yesterday alone.
That's when you understand. You
Sure.
know that.
Yeah.
You should understand that when you dig down deep in your soul.
Hey, good to see you,
How you
man.
doing? Good to see you again.
Good to see you guys.
Is he converting you?
No, we've been having a great talk. We had a whole crowd around here. We had a group from San Francisco. We got into abortion, illegal immigration. We were on and on about everything, man. We were doing good battles.
No history.
He actually wound up wanting to take the San Francisco girl out. You know, he was going, you know. But he's a young man. She was good looking. I can understand that.
Why not?
Yeah, it's another interesting day. I don't have boring days, obviously.
I didn't feel like making that guy. Apparently, he said I knew her for 30 years, and I was like, yeah.
Well, then obviously just
Go
friends.
ahead. Guy, no, but go ahead. maybe that will help. But I helped him. Hopefully.
Did a good thing.
We all plant seeds, man. That's all we can do is plant those seeds.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
What's your name?
Mike,
Mike. My name's Michael.
yeah, I gave you a card, right?
No.
Yeah, there you go. All right, basically this is where the cameras and the battery started conking out of me, so that was the end of all this idiocy. This next part is, I try to isolate the conversation that this lady was having with the Mike here, the young man. The quality of the sound is not as good because you're not going off of the mic I'm carrying, but you can still get a good idea what the hell she's talking about. Anyway, thanks for hanging in. Again, if you like this kind of candid stuff, support me. Please support me anywhere you can. I don't care. Subscribe, like, share, buy something, put something in the kitty. Love all you guys, and thanks for tuning in.
Giving anecdotal stories of one-off situations, correct?
I'm just telling you, I've got experience with this. I know.
exception for
But I mean, I just want that.
Why
I
incest
want
versus
the life to be
Or
valued
endangerment
because it just doesn't seem like
because there's adoption.
it's
You can
it's expendable.
What if you're
Like,
not
and you know what else?
or if
seems
there's medical endangerment,
Our
your mother,
lives,
that could
our
be
lives.
acceptable.
So you're
certain
modern
things
amongst
that
people
are-
that have
that
views
cause
of
us harm,
maybe once
like-
born. Because
like
your
me.
views are quite
Huh?
modern in
Or,
that view. Which is
useless
appreciative,
wars.
right?
I agree.
Those kinds of things.
And those things are restricted. And
Medical
lead paint in the.
Useless
That's-
wars.
I
I live in a house.
Oh,
now
sure.
That it's used to have lead
Make the
paint,
judgment
but
call on that.
God, I hope it's
But
not.
wait, there is abortion.
So
Not abortion,
I'm
but
here.
there is.
So,
we can
yeah,
talk about
I
this
mean,
without
I
needing to agree or
I
disagree.
think that
But,
lives
like, as
certainly
males,
are.
we can't
Like,
carry children.
I mean,
you or I
again,
can't do
we're
it.
getting into
So,
bigger
I-
things.
perhaps-
Like there are
perhaps
there are
I'm a
bigger
little too
fish
far
to fry.
left,
Useless
right,
words. I agree.
because I can't
I think that we
outside,
should
I
have
should
like
have
clean, utter clean air. There's plenty of things that I want, desire,
leave
need,
it up to
right?
women to
And I think that
choose what they
life
wanna
is
do
precious, but I also think that it is not my
because, like,
place
we don't have
to tell a woman.
we don't have to have
And again,
like, we're
he's
the
giving
ones
some.
that-
They were talking about examples, right? Incest,
like,
right?
whenever
Like
you think
it's
about
not my place to tell a woman to
because we're
relive
still
the most
talking
horrific
about-
moment of her life by carrying a
But
child to
you
term.
fertilized an egg.
And it's
That
also,
was our fault.
I do think men should have a say, but I think that the fact that most people in power, like right now, our government does not accurately represent the people. It's mostly male, it's mostly white. The demographics do not match this country, and I think that the people in power who are placing the laws, who don't have any medical background, plenty of them are not doctors, they don't have any medical background, they may be lawyers or they may be from life, are telling us we can or cannot do with our own bodies. And I think that that represents a huge problem. And
Looking at a bigger picture, the bigger picture.
But what I said,
that we're
but the will
arguing
is
about
usually
the
not there. So if the will isn't
and-
there, how do you do it?
The things that we need to be focused on are
So
probably
let's say,
more or
look,
less
I'm not saying this
making
for you,
sure
but let's just give a hypothetical where you're in a very
straight
happy,
at all
Yes.
loving
expense
relationship
are
with
warm
your
at night and have
wife.
something to eat.
And
Oh, I
accident
1000%
happens,
I was
and
just,
agree.
I know,
somehow
I
you
just
meet a
walked around
girl
last night.
and you have a night together, and somehow the girl ends up pregnant.
I know.
But you're married and you're happy,
Yes.
and you have children,
Yes.
and you raise them
So
well.
I think that that's also something that
This
represents,
woman,
that gets tied
you're
to this as well,
probably
that there's a
not
frustration
gonna be able
around
to speak to, converse to,
people
provide
want to
for,
force
provide
women
for
into
the child.
having
You're like,
children, but once that child is born, there is not appropriate social infrastructure in place to help them with that person. And that's there could be. I think that there should be.
Just people in general,
she's more
not just
liable
American
than the
citizens,
man
but just
is
as people.
because how they
Oh.
treat you,
Would
how they
start
treat
like you've heard of Reagan.
you're like,
Well, why don't we start from the bottom up?
Yeah.
And go and start with the people that are just cold hungry.
No, I volunteer, I donate, I do the things that I try to contribute and give back to society because I understand that I'm in a place to do that. And as a private citizen, like, why not? But it also breaks my heart that we cannot depend on the government who takes money out of my paycheck. I'll take the money that I get to keep out of my paycheck, 1,000%.
Bothers me too.
Yeah. I think that, and again, I don't think they represent the interests of, I think that they're, and for him talking about Beto and saying these things about Beto's campaign that are not true, Beto has a really, no, Beto O'Rourke, he's running for senator in Texas.
I haven't been keeping up with it.
That's okay. You should look him up when you get the time. He's a really positive candidate. Very similar to Bernie. He hasn't taken any contributions from like super PACs. No special interest groups are giving him money. He's only taking money from people like me. I've donated to campaign 3 times. But he wants, he recognizes Texas is one of the worst states when it comes to healthcare. Their people are sick. Texas has a poor education system. They're not paying their teachers enough. And there's a lot of, Ted Cruz has been in power for how many years? And he hasn't really, Ted Cruz is the current senator. He's looking to run against him. And yeah, Ted Cruz is terrible.
Well, he just his
Has like the most punchable face.
But like his whole thing whenever Trump did that to him, I was like, well, that really was not good.
Yeah.
Steve, stay away from hiding.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. That would have been the first thing that I would have done. Is like I would have probably gone to like Trump Tower and
Yeah.
been like, where are you at?
Yeah.
I want to find you right
Yeah, he's not he doesn't have a spine, which it's like, you're in the wrong line of business, pal. You gotta be able to stand up to people if you're a politician.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's
Stand up
actually
for
in-
your
he's-
people.
He's in the right line of work.
Well,
But you get what I'm saying. I was a Cruz guy because I like the image, but especially whenever that happened, I was like, it kind of started turning into WWE wrestling.
Yeah.
And I was like, if this were real, like I said, I'd be at Trump Tower like,
1 to 100, 1 to 1,000, 1 to whatever. You do 1 to 100.
you and me are going to the street right
Yeah.
now. You don't talk
Always
about
going
my
to
wife
be
like
people that milk the system.
talks about plenty of women went with.
Always has a
I think though, you should really look into Beto. He's like a really, and I think what's hard is like Cruz is doing a lot of smear campaigns and lying a lot about what, who Beto is. Like he was trying to say that Beto's gonna come take your guns away. Beto was like, I was raised with guns. I'm Texan. I was raised with guns in my family. I know how to use them, and I don't want to take anyone's guns away. I just want to keep them out of the hands of people who probably shouldn't have them to begin with. That's all. That's all we're looking to do. And he's gonna let people like flood our borders and come in. The source of his video is that video has been spliced. These people are using not taxpayer dollars but campaign contributions from individuals like me to say we should be providing like clothing, food, blankets to asylum seekers. Like that's it. They just want to let's give people on the street blankets, like you said.
So there's a bigger picture.
Yeah, there's a bigger.
Yeah, I mean that's like foreign politics. Which we have.
Yeah. But they're like their baseline is we just want to help people who are in need of help. Like foreign politics aside, yeah, but they're just saying they weren't trying to smuggle anyone in across the
Mexico
border.
is really different too. My parents, my stepdad and my mom.
Minimum wage.
Yeah.
For me, $15 an hour is
really
slave.
weird. It's like Americans go there and they like treat them like they would treat millennials here, like their kids. And they said it's really debilitating.
The other was
Yeah.
Because their government is a lot more like hands off, lazy. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, they can't all be run the same.
No, they're like super corrupt though. Like,
Yeah.
they always told me there was like every time the president leaves the office in Mexico, they even take the silverware.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
There's only been one president to ever stay, and actually one of the president's nephews lives in the town. He's like the illegitimate son of the president.
Yeah.
Lives in the town with my mom.
Really? Huh. Yeah.
I wish I'd have gotten to meet him. I don't think
Interesting stories. How to brush up on your Spanish.
I wish I could see it.
Hi. My name is Jenna.
Why?
Nice to meet you. So I want to take a step back though. I do want to ask a question. So you are religious then? Are you raised?
I always hear that word spiritual.
Yeah.
But I think it has a bad connotation for me.
Okay.
And I think that I am. It's just that
Were you raised a particular religion?
I took myself. I had a thing. I went to camp. I just started reading after I didn't want to for like the longest time. People kept talking about it, and then I just opened it up and I was like,
But I do believe Americans have that opinion. However, Swedish or
it
Danish,
was so true. Like you understand where I'm coming from, where something hits you and you get fooled.
and all of them live very long
Like, I
lives
mean,
where the government isn't trying to give them drugs.
Yeah.
Actually, they're doing the opposite. If you need antibiotics, don't take them unless you need to. It's like food versus organics. No, not
Just couldn't drink it away. And then when I accepted it, it filled me with such joy and peace. And, I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I think I went through a flip of that. So I was raised Catholic and went to Catholic school my whole youth. And then when Jenna. Yeah. So you're like, wait a second, I know you. I know this story. No, so yeah, I went to Catholic school, raised Catholic, went to church every Sunday with my family up until I was 18 years old. Confirmation, communion, the whole 9 yards. But when I went to college, I did certainly start to question religion beyond, because I had been raised, it wasn't a question, it was just like who I was as part of my identity. And as you grow up, whatever. So mine was the opposite of almost a, wow, I'm surprised I believed that for so long, or that I was that committed to that part of my identity. And what I will say is, I've talked to my mom about this, and the one thing, I did like the aspect of community within my church. Like, I had, our friends, our family friends, or, there was a really good sense of community, but I don't miss the religion, Catholic guilt, and some of the things that are so deeply ingrained. I do very much now believe in separation of church and state, and I really don't, as I was talking about earlier, the people in power, unfortunately, aren't, they're making decisions based on this, morality of religion that they, hold so true to, but that's not representative of what everybody else they reside over, are supposed to be representative of beliefs and different. So it's hard for me to see when there should, in theory, this country was supposed to be founded on the separation of church and state, that church does inevitably make its way a lot into
My
state.
senior thesis was on separation. Well, it was on really.
Where did you go? University of Alabama.
Where are you from?
California. So I went to UC Santa Barbara.
Welcome to the United States.
The rest of the world, huh? I'm here. Very good. All right, so tell me more. Your thesis was on, is University of Mobile a religious institution?
Yeah, it is. It's a Baptist college, but to be honest, that holds a meaning to me. It's a private Baptist college, so it's college, but it's money. And anyway, so Thomas Jefferson was a cool guy. Did a lot of stuff in his life. What I found was that he lost his wife and 4 of his 6 kids.